So those are some of the issues that people should cover. This is an opportunity for Zambians who can step after 5 years. We are ready for the we are the best way to expect this customer. And they don't want to show people I'm confident. Yes, I can hear you. You can see. Yes. I can't, then I start. It has come back. That's voted for the paragraph. Candidates now voting for the council. From now, we expect to talk to the head of state to just get started. Now, the last Up to 199 voters in this year's election.
And your words to those who are yet to come.
So please don't turn around.
Hey, that's right. Para punto.
Haja posado.
Habari zenu.
Zambians are going to the polls today, 12th August 2021. And now Zambia in this general election has sent 16 presidential candidates with new entrants on board. Meanwhile, a call for peace by various stakeholders has actually continued to take shape as Zambia heads to the polling station. And it is expected that the polling stations are opened at 06 hours and close at 18 hours on the same day. We will be giving you live visuals at the polling stations. We have our reporters on the ground. This is Kamna TV election update. Good morning. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji, and joining me on the other side,
it's Mr. Chota. Good morning, viewers. Precious, how are you feeling today?
I'm excited.
It's a historic day. Zambia goes to the polls.
Yes.
The voter turnout looks impressive. We're just from seeing His Excellency President Edgar Chagwalungu casting his vote at the Chiwama constituency. It's a good day.
I excited. I know I will take a break just as we are giving you live updates from different polling stations. We have our reporters, familiar faces, familiar voices. In case you haven't actually taken a chance to see who Prudence Chota is, who's Lisel Kanyanga Mwanga is, who Sharon Kalimbula, Blessings, Alex, Miriam on the other side, you will actually get an opportunity to see their faces because they will be giving us live updates from different polling stations and just to see how the turnout has been. If I wasn't here today, I think I would have slept at the polling station.
You would have slept. I know some people who did sleep at the polling station.
You do?
I do. From 0 to midnight, they were already there, ready.
I saw some memes on Facebook where I saw different people, not same place, different places where someone was actually waiting at the door, just
at the door waiting
the vote.
It's incredible.
I'm excited. So now let's look at how many districts, how many polling stations we have and what we should expect today.
Definitely. So just for quick stats of the voting turnout today, there are 7,023,499 registered voters, which is incredible. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
In 10 provinces, and that's 116 districts, 156 constituencies, and 1,858 wards. And that's 12,152 polling stations, which is an incredible turnout.
Are you voting today?
I have to. I just have to vote.
What time are we going?
I think later, after lunch, hopefully we can get our votes in.
I think for the media we have some access because we get to have some passes, some special treats because we have to come back here and give you guys the update. But just remember that we have our reporters on standby. Just before we came in, we saw His Excellence, the Patriotic Front presidential candidate, which is Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, just casting his vote there. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the First Lady.
That was the First Lady, yes.
The First Lady on the other side. Remember that polling stations are different. Different polling stations were actually opened today at 06 hours on the dot, and are expected to close by law at 18 hours on the same day. The Electoral Commission of Zambia announced that the results and everything will come to a conclusion in 72 hours. I am excited. So if you have a voter's card, I think it's time that you just make use of it today.
Definitely. And just a quick voter education for the voters who are voting early. Make sure that you put your ballot in the correct ballot box.
Yes, depending on the colors.
On the colors.
I need some education on that, so you can just also educate me as well.
Definitely. For the orange box, that's the presidential ballot box. For the purple box, that's the mayoral council chairperson box. The black box is for the local government, and the red box is for the National Assembly. So just quick voter education there. And
also, while we're talking about how you can recognize where to put your ballot paper, we've got different political parties. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we have 16 presidential candidates, different political parties with new entrants on board as well. So just quickly getting into the list of the candidates that we have on the presidential ballot. And then after that, we will be actually crossing over to the other side. But before we get into the juice of today, we'll just take a short, quick commercial break, and then we'll get back to you on the other side. Zambia decides. Welcome back. This is the Kamne TV election updates. I'm your host. My name is Precious Mzea Sakaleji. On the other side, I have Michael Chota, and we'll be giving you just updates on what's happening at different polling stations because we have our reporters on the ground. Now, like we mentioned before we went on a break, in case you have just joined us, well, at the beginning of the show, we saw the Patriotic Front presidential candidate and the First Lady casting their vote at Chawama constituency. Now, quickly getting into the candidates, presidential candidates, 16 presidential candidates, and what you should look out for on the presidential ballot paper. Now, getting to the first one, we have the PAC, the PSC, which is Banda Andford M, and what you should expect if you want to vote for him is actually a flag, like a flag.
A flag.
Now, we had a discussion just before.
Just now. We're laughing about it, actually.
Before we got back to say, what does it take for a political party to choose a symbol? And
yes.
What are they trying to sell out?
Exactly.
Like a flag.
Is it a general flag? Is it a national flag?
I think
what's a flag of their party?
I wish I had an opportunity to actually sit down with all the presidential candidates and just ask them, your party has a flag or this symbol, what does it mean?
Exactly.
So if I was to look at the symbol, I would just be like, it means, I don't know. It's blank.
It's just blank. It's just a flag.
It's just a flag.
It means anything.
It means anything. It's waving to the nation, like maybe getting attention, because you know a flag is actually a very important,
very symbolic.
Yes, very symbolic. Yeah, I think it's just trying.
It's interesting.
Very interesting. I don't know how to analyze that one. We continue. They're very interesting symbols for these political parties, presidential political parties. We got into the next one.
The next one would be Mr. Charles Chanda, and that's for the party of UPPZ. And the symbol, this one is an interesting symbol. It's a graduation cap with a cabbage and 2 cattle head. How interesting is that?
A graduation cap.
A graduation cap, a cabbage.
A cabbage.
And 2 cattle head.
And 2 cattle heads.
Very interesting symbols.
Wait, I'm trying to analyze. So graduation, yes, I'm trying to visualize what that would look like. So I would think they're trying to say when you graduate, it doesn't really necessarily mean that you need a white-collar job. You can get into farming. Farming
jobs as well, which is very good for the youth.
Yeah.
Very good. Entrepreneurship, very good.
Entrepreneurship, yeah. So that we've tried. We've tried.
I hope that's what it means. Otherwise,
we really don't know. We're just trying to visualize what their symbols actually would mean if it was to that common person that would go to the polls and go like, oh, this and this and this. Because there are people that we have different ways that we make decisions when we are at when we are looking at the ballot papers.
Definitely.
Others look at the colors, others look at the person, others look at the political party, others look at the symbols. So you need to know what will trigger you to vote for a certain person and then look into it. Others take certain things as signs to say, okay, I don't know who the presidential candidate is, but if on the symbols, on the ballot papers, there is this, it's the person I'll vote for.
Definitely.
So yeah, so now getting on to the third presidential candidate on the ballot, we're looking at Chiseli Lazarus, and this is from the ZCUSD, and the symbol is a phone.
What type of phone? You know, we're just talking about this now. It's a very vague thing. What type of phone can it be?
His symbol is a phone.
It's a phone.
ZUSD.
Yeah.
ZUSD.
ZUSD.
A phone. They're a call away?
There must be a call. There must be a call away. We're just there.
They're just there. Just call on us, we'll come to your aid.
Yeah. So you see how important symbols are, because it brings up a lot of questions in people's minds.
Yes,
what does your party represent? What does it mean?
What's the message you're trying to
What is the message trying to give out to the people? So it's very interesting to actually debate on these issues, symbols, and so forth.
No, okay.
So for the next one, the next candidate would be Mr. Hivi Hamududu, and that's for the PNUP party. And the symbol is a wheel. A wheel like on a car.
For what, a car?
I would assume it's for a car, a tractor, what other one? A motorbike, a bicycle. I think a bicycle would make sense.
Well, in case you have just joined us, this is the Kamnet TV election update. We have our reporters on the ground from different polling stations. We will actually be crossing over to one of them as soon as they're ready, just to give us an update on what's happening at the polling station they're at. Currently, we're just looking at the 16 presidential candidates, what you will expect to see on the presidential ballot, and also their symbols, and just trying to visualize what they really mean as assumptions.
Exactly.
I would say there's assumptions, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So now going on to the next one, which is Hakainde Hichilema SUPND. Hichilema Hakainde, yes, SUPND. That's palm with raised thumb. Palm
Yeah, that's the
with raised thumb.
That's Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, and that's for UPND, yes. That's the palm.
So
with
we
the
know
raised
this
arm.
one because it's common. This
It's very common.
This is the main opposition political party, the
Main
United
opposition
Party for
political
National
party,
Development,
yes.
and they say forward. This means forward to them.
Yes.
So we have the flag from the PSC. That's Mr. Banda Anford M. Chanda Charles. The UPPZ. The symbol is a graduation cabbage and 2 cattle heads, and also Chisela Lazarus. That's a Z USBD. That's a phone, and then we moved on to Mr. Haivi Hamdudu, which is the PUNP with the wheel, and also Hakainde Hichilema S, which is the UPND palm with raised thumb. Now, getting on to our call out, remember that you can actually get interactive with us. That's 0968675273. Would love to hear where you voted for, and just give us a brief update. You can also be our reporter on the ground on the other side. Let's get into this call. Hello. So as you can see in the background, yes, a huge vote. That's okay. And we're about to get our updates.
People turned out as areas to ensure that they cast their vote. As you can see, the numbers don't lie. People want to make sure that their vote counts. In this year's election, it is tightly contested. There are a number of political parties contesting. About 16 presidential candidates participating in this election. Among them, we have we start with Andy Banda for the People's Alliance for Change. We also have Charles Chanda, UPPZ. We also have Chisela Lazarus, ZUSD. We have Haivi Hamududu, Hakainde Hichilema, UPND. We have Hadikalava, DP, and Shalakateka, National Heritage Party. We have Edgar Lungu, PF. We have Fred Membe, Socialist Party, and Nevers Mumba for the MMD. We also have Mamba Musonda for UNIF. We also have Nirenda Stephen, NAREP. We also have Mwenda Kasonde, EFF. We also have Richard Silumbe for the Leadership Movement, LM. And we have John Tembo, the PEP, that is Partners for Economic Progress. We also have Enoch Tonga, the Third Liberation Movement leader. Now, at this polling station in Chawama specific, this is where the head of state casts its vote, and the president was among the earliest voter in the team where he votes from, and the president, the first lady, also casted a vote at the same venue but different location. Of course, previously the first lady used to vote from Kawata constituency. But today, both of them are in Chawama constituency. And of course, probably it's one of the reasons that the head of state had to give a support to Tasila Lungu, who is also her daughter, vying for the parliamentary seats. Now, Chawama, in terms of parliamentary candidates, Tasila is facing the competition from the UPNG candidate, who is called for Tembo. And of course, these two one of them likely to be major victorious. Now, the president also the media immediately after casting his vote, and his message has been consistent, and he was pointing out to the issue of ensuring that Zambians would have free and fair elections, and that the losers should be able to accept defeat. And the number issues also emerged. The president also expressed confidence that he will remain head of state as far as this year's election is concerned. Now, this election is interesting, and it has also attracted the interest of the international community. We have seen a number of election observations, including the European Union as well as the African Union. They were here to also check the situation in as far as voting is concerned. A number of issues have also emerged here. People who were trying to get the glimpse of the head of state. There was a bit of some commotion, and we ended up seeing some senior citizens have been pushed in the process. But that also came with sort of that commotion, and that's what people wanted to get a glimpse of the head of state. Now, this year's election will be very unique. It comes at a time when the country is equally facing the coronavirus pandemic. However, we have seen people adhering to COVID-19 and guidelines in as far as ensuring that they wear face masks as well as ensure that. However, the issue that will come is the aspect of social distance, but I think that cannot be achieved at the moment because people want sure that they cast their vote as early as possible so they get back to normal. We'll be talking to a number of people later on to just find out their expectation or just how they want this election to go. As you already know, the campaign period is over. Political parties ended up passion discussions as campaigns are concerned. Well, election has also been tilted towards the issue of the economy, and the economy has been prominent on election where citizens expect these politicians, those who form the next government, to ensure that they work on the economy. We've also seen issues to do with education, scaling up social protection. These are interventions which our citizens are looking out for. And this is a chance where people are going to cast their vote and determine who should be the next president. We'll be giving you another update later on. This has been Patrick Soko. Stay tuned. Over to you, studio.
Welcome back. This is the Camnet TV election update, and today is the 12th of August 2021, where Zambians decide, okay, who is who and what party is what. Now, getting on to the statistics, we have 7,023,499 registered voters, 10 provinces, 116 districts, 156 constituencies, 1,858 wards, and not forgetting 12,152 polling stations. Now, we're just getting an update from one of our reporters, that's Patrick Soko. On the other side, we still have a whole lot more of our reporters on the ground, like we mentioned, different polling stations, and we'll just be giving you an update on what's happening. The turnout is quite good where Patrick Soko is. I would say I'm impressed.
It is impressive.
Yes, it is very impressive.
There's a lot of people have turned out this early in the morning. It's very exciting to see on the ground.
Now you can see that they're being patriots.
Definitely.
Yes.
It's very patriotic.
Patriotism.
To go out and vote.
Yes. Now, just before we actually switched on to Patrick Soko with that update, we are just giving you a hint on what you should expect on the presidential ballot paper. We're just giving you the names, their symbols, and also the parties. So apparently on the ballot, that's the presidential ballot, you expect initials, not the actual or the full political party name. So you will see initials just in case you're looking out for a whole political party name and you have no idea what you're looking out for. So that's the reason why we have decided that we'll tell you the the presidential candidates, their symbols, and also the party. Now, like we mentioned earlier, moving on, we were on Hakainde Ichilema S, that's from the United Party for National Development. So the initials on the presidential ballot is the UPND, and what you should expect as a symbol is palm with raised thumb, which is like this. So now, like, we were just analyzing and trying to decide and visualize what the symbols would actually mean. And it's common for the main opposition. This means forward. That's what they said, which is forward. Moving on to the next one.
The next one would be Mr. Harry Kalaba, and that's for the DP party. And the symbol there seen would be a key. I think that one is a bit more clear than the other symbols which we have mentioned, but hey.
Like the wheel and the phone?
The phone and the wheel.
The phone is a core way. The wheel is driving you to your destiny. Moving
forward, in a way.
Moving forward is for the UPND.
The thumb, yes.
The thumb. The DP, Mr. Harry Kalaba, which is the key.
Yes.
What would the key mean? Opening different doors, different...
It could be an opening to the future.
Opening something. Opening, yeah.
Unlocking the future.
Unlocking, if he was to get into power, unlocking a new government,
unlocking potential,
unlocking different opportunities. It actually it's vague, but it has got some.
It's got deep meaning.
Some deep meaning attached to it. Now moving on to the next one, which is Kateka Chalabi, the NHP, a maize crop with a cob.
High emphasis on agriculture, you can tell.
Yeah.
That one is
just straightforward.
Straightforward.
No beating around the bush.
Yeah.
Agriculture is the focus.
Yes.
The next one.
The next one would be His Excellency President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, and that's for the PF, and the symbol there is a boat. I think this one will see.
Pabuato. They usually do this when they're, and it's this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The hand symbol.
Pabuato. I would visualize it as in sailing through the storm.
Sailing through the storm.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It could work.
It could work.
It could work. It makes sense. Sailing through the storm, being at peace, even though
the different
are moving.
Yeah. Yes. Moving on to the next one, which is Mr. Fred Membe, and the party is FSP. What you should look out for is an axe, shovel, crossed.
Yes, an axe and the shovel crossed. High emphasis on agriculture, a lot of these symbols.
Or hard work.
And hard work.
That sounds like farming.
And it could also maybe even the miners.
Miners.
Diggers. Blue collar workers. It's because the Socialist Party. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, quite interesting. Let's move on to the next one.
The next one would be Mr. Nervous S. Mumba, and that's for the MMD. And the symbol there would be a table clock. Interesting.
What would that mean? It's about time.
It's about time. It could be just that consciousness that you always need to be aware of where you are, where you're going.
And what time it is?
And what time it is.
Yeah, I think so. That could work.
It could work.
That could work.
It was the party which came after UNIPS, the Multilateral Party for Democracy.
Yeah, so when multi-party democracy was actually introduced, yeah?
91.
Getting to the next one, it's Mwambamsonda, TS, that's the UNIP, and it's a hole.
That's a hole. And that is definitely for farming, the hole which is used.
Or digging.
For digging.
What are you digging for the future?
You could be digging for the future, you could be digging to plant
it takes hard work.
It takes hard work to plant a seed.
These are actually quite interesting symbols.
It would be very interesting if the way we're dissecting it is not even what
is it? Not even close, You find, not even close. You find it's not even close. Anyway, moving on to the next one.
Yes, and the next one would be Mr. Kasonde C. Mwenda, and that's for the EFF party. And the symbol there would be footprints. What's your take on that?
Footprints?
Walking.
Walking to where?
Together. We're walking together.
Walking, yeah, that's actually...
That could make sense.
Stepping on the grounds of destiny? No? Yeah?
It's very poetic here.
Walking together?
Walking together, side by side.
Foot.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to the next one. That's Mr. Stephen Urenda from the NAREP, and the symbol is a heart for the people. This one is clear.
This one's very clear. It's a heart for the people.
It's a heart. The NAREP symbol is a heart. So it's a heart for the people. This one, we don't even have to go around the bush about it.
It shows compassion for the people in terms of their symbol. Caring. Love, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. On to the next one.
On to the next one would be Mr. Richard Silumbe, and that's for the LM party. And the symbol there would be the waves. That would be the waves in an ocean, in a sea. What could that mean to you?
The wave.
The waves.
The waves.
Do we have, how many waves do we have? When was the last time you saw a wave? Not many waves, huh?
I think we'll leave it there. It's the wave. It's the wave. And then getting on to the PEP presidential candidate, that's Mr. Sean Tembo E. And the symbol is a united family standing on the globe.
Wow.
Family oriented, man.
Definitely family.
That's what I would think.
A strong emphasis on family, a united family. And on top of the world means
family
unity.
To the world, unity, love. Family comes first.
Strength.
Family gives you strength.
Family gives you strength. Family supports you. Could mean a lot of things.
Behind every successful man is a good woman with a good family. Yeah?
That too. That too. That could also work. And the final candidate on our list would be Mr. Enoch Tonga. And the party would be the third LM. And the symbol there would be 3 flags encircled. Circle, circle, circle. I would think that would mean unity.
What flags? 3 flags, what? Different countries? Different...
It's quite tricky.
It's very tricky. I'm trying to...
3 flags encircled. It could show a bond between 1, 2, 3.
Or maybe trying to create a partnership with different countries?
It could also represent that as well.
Or maybe... Nah, my brain is
the brain is on. This early in the morning.
It's just there. It's like, no, precious, you're not doing this. But anyways, remember that if you want to give us an update on what's happening in your constituency and also the polling station you're voting from, you can just call us and tell us how the turnout is and how excited you are. And no, don't tell us who you're voting for, because your vote is a secret. So 0968-675273. What's the other number they can call us on, Mike?
You can also reach us on 0973-167-840.
Yes, and you can also get to our Facebook platform. We would love to hear from you. I am excited because today is, I feel Zambians actually had a countdown to this day.
It's finally here.
I remember getting my voters card. Don't worry, I am voting. I know I'm here this early. The time the polling stations were opened, we were actually here to make sure that we give you an update on what's happening, and we'll continue to give you updates, as many updates as we can, if possible, all of them. Actually, it's if possible, all of them, yes. So we just started with Patrick Soko. He gave us an update on which polling station is at and also how the turnout is. We will be voting later on, so if you have your voter's card and if you are waiting for a sign to actually step out of your house to go and cast that vote, well, this is it. I am the sign. This is the signal. You go and make that decision. Yes.
Go out and vote. It's very important. You know, when I was even coming to the office this morning, some polling stations already there at number 30 in the line, and they were there at 02 lined up. It's incredible what we're seeing on the ground. Today should be a very impressive day.
Okay, so now getting on to our next reporter who is on the ground at the certain polling station. We'll get to find out which one it is, because, yeah, we'll get an update on the other side. And remember that this is Kamna TV election updates with me, Precious, and Michael on the other side, and we'll continue to give you nothing but the election updates as of today, 12th August 2021. Zambia decides. So let's get into it.
Good morning, Zambia. We are here in Lusaka Central, Kabulonga Boys, where 1,000 election. What is interesting is some people slept actually at this center just to be the first to cast their votes people have turned out to vote, and I hope wherever you're watching us from, you as well are going to vote. This center is very special today because this is where the leader of the largest opposition political party, that is Hakainde Hichilema from the United Party for National Development, will be voting from, and he'll be coming here between 9 and 10, so be on standby to just witness him coming to vote. We've also got the leader for Freedom Fighter Party, Kasonde Mwenda, who's also going to be voting from here around 11 hours. We've got several people who will be voting from here, as well as the former member of Parliament for Lusaka Central, that is Margaret Manakatwe, will also be coming to vote from this center. So voting at this center started at exactly 06 hours, and there was a large turnout. As you can see from behind me, people have been standing on the queue for several hours just for them to vote. This is very exciting. We are happy that we are exercising our democratic right. So I'm going to introduce someone who came here and slept that he gets his vote, and this is Andrew Malambo. Andrew Malambo, please join me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This is Andrew Malambo, and can you just tell us what has been your experience? What time did you come to this place to vote?
Well, thank you very much once again. I came here yesterday around 22 hours, and it has been a very nice experience. We slept here. The place has been very calm. Everybody, especially everybody around, especially my friends we came with, everybody was quite excited, and definitely 06 hours immediately when it was on for voting, for casting our votes, respectively. You have mentioned that it's our right, we cast our votes, and this is definitely for our children, this is for our future, this is for our generation.
Okay, so maybe what words do you have for people out there who are doubting or who have not yet made a decision to vote? What is the message that you have for them?
Well, the message is that when people were supposed to, everybody who is a citizen, especially to what is happening right now, that it's very calm. The place is very calm, and everyone is just, everything is going on well. Regarding that, there was just a small situation we had in the morning, where one of the agents within one of the polling stations was putting on a PF regalia. I just witnessed that, and we went nearby just to find out what was happening. That was just before 6 hours before they started. They opened the elections here. Okay.
So you hear there was such sad experience where one of the polling agents came putting on a party regalia, but the people who are here had to calm the situation to ensure that the law was followed. So thank you very much for joining us today, and we wish you good luck.
Thank you very much, and God bless you.
All right. Thank you. There you have it. If you're doubting, if you've not yet made a decision on who to vote for, please get out of the bed, go and exercise your democratic right. Remember, the decision you're making today has an impact on your life, has an impact on your children, has an impact on your great-grandchildren. The decision that you make today will determine the next 5 years for Zambia. So get out of that bed, go and exercise your democratic right. We'll keep updating you here and be on the standby, be on the lookout. Even as the leader of the largest opposition political party will be coming to vote, and others, as you have seen behind me, thousands of people have turned up. If you are doubting, please come through and cast your vote. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been Prudence Chocha. We'll see you later.
Well.
Wow.
Yeah, well, one of the voters mentioned something that's actually I picked out from that interview. He said, when you're making this decision, you're making it for your children. It's not just about you. And we mention this every now and then when we're talking about election. It's been the talk of the city from the time that campaigns were actually launched, from the time that presidential candidates that have paid the presidential fee were actually announced, and how many presidential candidates that will be on the ballot were announced by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, which is the election body. You are making this decision for the next 5 years. Okay, there are a lot of things that you need to look out for as you head to the polling station. Which one of he mentioned the voter mentioned to say one of the officers was wearing a political party regalia.
Yes.
which is not supposed to happen. Okay, it's not allowed at all. So we're just getting into what I know, certain things that you're not supposed to do during the polling station, especially for the ladies, is that your fingernails are not supposed to be painted. As you can see, mine are just out there in the world.
Very clean.
So you're not supposed to have your nails painted.
Yes.
No political party regalia. No campaigns on actual day. What else?
Campaigns on the actual
what
day.
else do you know?
Apart from that, the voter education with the ballot boxes, you need to know your ballots and make sure that you fill in them correctly. You mark them with an X.
X, yes.
You don't put a tick, don't put any other symbols. It has to be an X for your intended candidate of choice.
And also remember that if you don't actually cross on your intended candidates, it's gonna be considered as an invalid vote, which means that your vote will not be counted. So you don't want to waste that time standing in the queue and then just your paper being thrown away because you didn't do the right thing. So you're crossing on your preferred candidate.
Yes.
And also know your candidates and what constituency you're voting from. What else do you need to consider? I don't know if you've taken time. I feel there are a few people that have actually taken time to look into their candidates, who they're voting for, and also what they're bringing to the community and also to the country. I know quite a number of independent candidates that are standing, but still campaigning for certain political parties, which the ECZ mentioned to say if you are an independent candidate, you are not allowed to actually campaign for a certain political party. But then we're Zambians.
We're Zambians. We've seen a lot of jumping.
Yes.
But that's very common during this political time. Another key thing as well to mention on the voting education is that make sure that your ballot is stamped with the date, because that could also lead to a rejected vote if it's not stamped. So viewers, be careful to do that as well. It's very crucial. And I think just another point which you mentioned, which Mr. Andrew Malambo, the viewer there, mentioned with Prudence Chota, is he came out at 22 hours.
Yes, I think that would have been me if I wasn't supposed to be here by 6.
Some people slept at the polling
and
station,
it was windy
in the cars.
Last night.
Definitely, it was something else.
That's commitment.
Definitely.
Kudos to you.
Kudos to you, sir. And if there's one day that as the youth of the country should actually wake up, it's today. Even though it's cold.
They say we're a lazy generation, but honestly speaking, I feel we're so hardworking. I've seen so many entrepreneurs. We have graduates, but they're not doing the jobs that they actually graduated for and stuff like that. So I get offended that this is when they're called disgruntled youth, a lazy generation. But we got this.
Yeah,
and it was very impressive to hear from the Electoral Commission of Zambia that majority of the registered voters were actually
young people.
Young people, which is very motivating. Imitikula Empanga, so we are the Mpanga of the
young trees.
We are the young trees. Will become the Mpangas, the forest on the other side. So remember that. We would also love to hear from you if you're at the certain polling station and you just love to give us an update on what's happening. Just call us on 0968675273 or get to our Facebook page. We have the live stream there, and we have our reporters from different polling stations, and they will be telling us what's happening. The turnout is very, very impressive, I would say. So you should be part of those numbers. You should be part of that decision. You should be the one to make that decision. Like we always say, it's up to you to decide if you're going to maintain the current government or you decide to change. The decision is up to you. Let nothing influence you apart from what the parties are promising, their manifestos. If you're impressed with their manifestos, that's your time to actually make the decision. Let nothing buy you. Hope your vote hasn't been bought from you. This is your time to exercise your right. It is your right to actually vote. Your vote is a secret. It is a secret. So know and do the right thing.
Definitely. Your vote counts. Your voice matters. It is your democratic right. So make sure you do go out and vote. We cannot stress the emphasis, as well, the viewer was mentioning there. We cannot emphasize how significant this election is for the future of our generation, for the kids as well. It's a very crucial time in Zambia right now.
Yes, the political atmosphere is quite intense, but I love how calm it is this morning. Just as we were coming to the offices, we passed through, it was on the way, some polling stations, some majority of them which are schools, and with the atmosphere is actually very calm. And I pray that we maintain the same peace during, after the election as well. And also not forgetting do not feel like you're the Electoral Commission of Zambia officers and out here going on social media announcing results. The ECZ is actually has eyes everywhere, and they will not hesitate to arrest anybody that will announce results before they do. Very
crucial. ECZ had mentioned that as well, that you cannot stipulate results before they do. So it's very important and very crucial.
Okay, so now we'll get to our next reporter who is on the ground at this polling station, which is Sharon Kalimbula, who's just been giving an update on how the atmosphere is at this specific polling station, and also what should be expected when you go there in case that's where you're voting from. Hello, Sharon.
It is cold here in Zambia and wherever you're watching us from. This is Hamlin's TV, live visual, live in the radio in Mali constituency at Vera polling station, where we have quite a number of people that lined up as 5 just to be the preferred candidate that votes, so that they take them to whatever office they are vying for. As you may be aware, this is a general election, and therefore people are voting for the presidential candidates, parliamentary candidates, councillors, and other electable positions in these offices. Right now, I'm here with Thomas Civic, who is vying for Monali seat and what represents you here in Parliament. Mr. Kalo, welcome. What's your view with regards to how the situation is here at the Are there any
just a bit of misunderstanding here.
I know campaigns are closed, but maybe
exactly. You know what people need to realize is that if you don't start, just know that some people don't want. So they have to make sure that the government doesn't pay much, because you know you vote. So if you vote, then you decide take care of that. So if you are saying no, I'm not going to vote, maybe you don't feel like it. Just know that each 5 years you have to continue. If you are complaining, so your vote. So that is important. So let's come out the numbers and vote for the please, it doesn't change. Let up when I vote. In a Africa Calicum, and in this quarter name. About the time is for the Thank you so much. No, thank you very much. Let us say incoming MP is all right,
thank you so much, Mr. Thomas Ipalo. So that was Thomas Ipalo. He's one of the contenders here at Monali constituency and expected to cast his vote probably around 10 hours in Kalingalinga ward. As you can see, just pan out exactly to show the viewers out there how the situation is. People have been here as early as 3, like Thomas Ipalo, the parliamentary candidate had mentioned. So you can see the queues. People are eager to cast their vote. People are eager to give their preferred candidate that vote who will rule this country probably for the next 5 years. My name is Sharon Kalimbula. We will continue to bring you live visuals from various parts of the Dakar district and the country at large. This are live visuals of election updates.
Well,
interesting.
Yes, we just saw the one of the independent candidates for Minali constituency, that's Kalingalinga ward, Thomas Sipalo, just encouraging everybody out there. He said, if you don't vote, don't complain.
Don't complain.
If you have not made a decision today, in the next 3, 4, 5 years, don't complain if anything goes wrong. I don't want to disagree or agree, but I would leave it at it.
Some very powerful words there from Mr. Thomas Sipalo.
So remember that if you are, if you needed a sign to if you should go and vote or not, well, this is a sign that we are giving to you. If you're seated out there and you are not actually deciding to go and vote, just remember that this is me, Precious, and Michael on the other side, making sure that you actually get up from your comfort zone right now. There are people out there that went as early as 22 hours the previous day, which was yesterday, just so they could be one of the first people that would actually cast their vote. And not forgetting there are people that were there at 2, as Sharon Kalimbala mentioned, at the Kalingalinga ward, 02 a.m. in the morning, and polling stations were opened at 6. You can imagine how exciting that is. I'm just excited that people have turned out in numbers just to cast their vote and show their support. You're being a Zambian citizen, and you're just exercising your right.
Yes, definitely. And as Mr. Thomas Sipalo, aka Mr. Tiko Sesa, as he's commonly known on the ground, mentioned, it's your responsibility as a voter to go out and participate, because this is your choice at the end of the day. Don't complain in 5 years' time if your candidate of choice didn't make it, if you didn't vote. If you didn't go out and vote. So very crucial times.
Yes, also, and also to all political party candidates, those that are participating in this general election, I feel if you're not going to make it this time around, I think just lay a foundation for 2026, because this is not the first or last election that we're actually having as the Zambian people. So you have an opportunity to make ends meet in 2026 general election.
Yes, it's not the end. I mean, it's only the start.
It's only the beginning. But I'm excited. Congratulations to... I've seen quite a number of political parties that have just mushroomed before Zambia headed to the polls, which is today, before today, 6 months ago, and they are on the presidential ballot. Impressive, and I would say keep on with the good work. I know you're trying to fight around with the big fish that have been in the game for a very long time, but that shouldn't be intimidating. And it's also, I've seen young presidential candidates. I can see that we are getting there.
It's a good sign, because you have to start from somewhere.
Yes.
Every political giant started from somewhere at some point. So it's a good start to see people participating in the whole political process. And just from political history as well that we've seen, those who were small yesterday, today they can be giants. So it's very good on the ground to see that coming up.
Yes, of course. Now, like we mentioned earlier, this is the Kamna TV election update with me, Precious Mzeya Sakaleji, and Michael Chota on the other side. And we had different reporters, our reporters at different polling stations, just giving us updates and what's happening, and also what we should look out for in case we're going there. And also we had, just to mention a few, we had Patrick Soko, Prudence Chota, and also Sharon Kalimbula, who just came through a few minutes ago. We'll be headed soon to either Lisa Lee, Blessings, Alex on the other side, just giving us an update on what's happening. At the beginning of the show, we saw the Patriotic Front presidential candidate Edgar Chagwa Lungu casting his vote at Chawama constituency with the First Lady and just another candidate that we saw in the picture. So that is actually a sign that you are
ready.
Ready. Yes.
You're all ready.
You are ready.
Ready to go.
If you are nervous, I know some of you, this is the first time you're voting. This is going to be my second time voting. But if you're a first time voter, it's not complicated. You will get it.
You get it. Your second time voting?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I broke the record.
It's very good to see that.
I'm excited to cast my second vote, guys. The other time I voted was 2016.
2016 elections.
Yes.
Wow.
2016 elections.
I'll be honest with you, Precious. I'll be very honest with you and the viewers at home. This is my first time voting.
It's okay.
I think it's time.
You will get there.
There?
You will be the next person that I'm saying, this is my third time in 2026. Hope you're going to vote in 2026.
Definitely.
You will be a second time. It's not complicated. On the lighter note, it's not complicated. I was nervous the first time I went to cast my vote because I was scared. I remember actually my palms were sweating when I got...
Wow.
And I was looking at the ballot papers and I'm like, okay, I saw this on TV, I saw this, and because I've been in media, I was in media even in 2016, so I had access to certain information. So I knew certain candidates and their faces, and also the campaigns, the papers, the flyers, and stuff being stuck around the city just for the campaigns. But it's very interesting. I was extra excited. I feel the same excitement because I feel like I made a decision for a whole country, and I put myself in the shoes of being the person to cut the tie in case there was any for these certain political parties. I was like, this vote is what will decide who is going to be the president of the Republic of Zambia. So
that's a very proud move. I'm very proud of you for doing that.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you.
Another thing I saw on social media, just a lighter note, a joke, is that this is not the time to look for your soulmate in the line, okay? Focus on voting.
Well, about that though, you never know.
No, because there's a lot of youth turnout today, so on social media there's a lot of that going around that no, it's not the time to look for the soulmate.
Shoot your shot.
To look nice, shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot.
You know.
That's all I can say. But you know, on a lighter note, I feel if you feel that's the person, shoot your shot.
In the voting line?
But the bottom line is you're
don't get confused. Make sure
you're going to vote. You're going to vote. Love struck is real.
Yeah.
It's possible people might fall in love. Congratulations in advance for those of you that will fall in love.
Congratulations.
Well, going to vote. Hope the person motivates you to vote for the right candidate. You never know. I would say election is a trial. I don't want to target as trial and error because this is a huge decision that you're making if you're going to vote for a certain candidate, and just make the right decision. Make the right decision.
Definitely. And another thing alluding to on the ground, as the viewer had mentioned, there's a lot of police presence as well at a lot of the polling stations, which is very important. I think the safety of the citizens of Zambia is very important on this day. So there's a lot of police presence. I saw on the way to the office as well, which is it's very good to see that.
I hope the Zambian citizens are not actually intimidated because I have seen we have all seen quite a number of military vans moving around. They're just trying to make sure there's peace and there's no drama on the ground with different political parties, considering the fact that we actually made a lot of headlines when it comes to political violence, different political parties fighting each other and stuff like that. Lives were lost, which is not what we're looking forward to during this election period. And also the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kakuma Kanganja, just mentioned in one of the press briefings to say they have actually gotten some game rangers, people from immigration, just to police the election because the police service didn't have enough people. They felt they didn't have enough people to actually police the election, so they had to get people from wings, different security wings that felt would actually do the job, and they were going through training. They started 2-3 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, just getting ready for this day. And I would say I love the atmosphere. It's calm, and I pray to God that we maintain the peace, because Zambia is known to be a very, to be specific, very peaceful nation, and I pray that we maintain that.
Definitely. We'll definitely be against any political violence on the ground.
Say no to political violence.
And as you mentioned, a lot of military being deployed in various provinces around the country as well to maintain that peace and order, the law and order, which is very necessary in our country at this time. It's very crucial.
So it is what it is. Results will be announced in 72 hours. I don't know how you're feeling, but my anxiety has gotten the best of me. I'm extra excited, overwhelmed at the same time, mixed emotions at the same time, and hope as you are, if you're watching us from Facebook and you are in the queue waiting to cast your vote, if you're a female, hope that you have your nails undone, they're not painted if possible, and if you just did your nails 3-4 days ago, make sure that one of your thumbs are actually very clear, and it's a safe place for you to actually get the mark that you have voted, because there's a mark that needs to be given to you. Just a heads up for you who is a first-time voter.
Thank you, Precious. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Edna.
Just in case there are those that want to dupe the nation and just go and vote for the second time, just know that there's a mark that you will be given to identify you as someone who has already voted. I know, if you're not looking forward, I am looking forward to hear from the people after they have voted. Right now, they are waiting to vote, and we look forward to seeing what the results will be in 72 hours.
You know, when ECZ had mentioned the whole 72-hour limit for the voting, it brought a lot of speculation amongst people, like 72 hours, is it a long time, is it a short time? But at the end of the day, I think the results is what matters at the end of the day, that once they come out, there'll be a lot of relaxation, anxiety goes, because there's a lot of people very anxious right now today.
I'm a lot of people, yeah. Even my sitting position is just selling me off. I'm just here and I'm like...
Yeah. But very calm at the same time.
Yes! Composed
very
at the same time. Composed at the same time.
That's right.
For those that have to deal with anxiety and you're waiting to get there, we will get there, don't worry. With time, we will definitely get there.
Definitely. And we'll be here every step of the way to guide you through the whole electoral process to the very end.
Yes, of course. So if there's anything that you would like to find out, or if you have any questions wherever you're catching us from, either on Facebook Live or on your television, if you have any questions, we will try and answer what we know and not assume anything. Just come through. That's 0968675273, 0968675273. What's the other number?
0973167840. That's the other number on Airtel.
Yes, so no political regalia.
No political regalia. No, for the ladies, as you mentioned, the fancy nails and the ink on your fingers as well. That could disrupt your vote as well. And also just maintain peace. Don't forget your pens as well. I saw on social media people mentioning pens. What are the pens
just
for?
In case.
ECZ do provide pens, but just in case,
if you feel,
you just bring your own pen.
I went with my own pen the first time.
You went with your own pen?
I didn't want... You know how it is, if you're a first-time voter, for those that can relate to what I am about to say, when you're a first-time voter, there are just certain things that you just don't want to go. I carried 2 pens.
2 pens?
Yeah.
It's an exam. It feels like it's an exam, eh?
I carried 2 pens and I felt like I was going, honestly speaking,
like
I really felt like I was going to write an exam. And I was going there prepared and I'm like, yeah, this feels like an exam I started for because I knew the candidate I was voting for. I paid attention. I told myself during the campaign period, I had given myself some time to actually just go through at least 5 candidates, and from the 5 I managed to pick one who I wanted to vote for. So I knew who my presidential candidate was going to be. I knew who I was going to vote for as mayor, councillor, and also parliamentary level. So for me, I was prepared and I didn't want anything to go wrong. I carried my breakfast, I carried my lunch, I carried my fluids just to stay hydrated. My phone was charged just in case I get bored as I was waiting in the queue. So if you feel there's certain things that will actually give you motivation as you stand in the queue, if it's a TV, unfortunately you have to leave it home.
You can't take that with you. You can't
take it with you, but just make sure if you are that person that gets easily bored, and I know for introverts this is one tough thing because you need to, unfortunately there are those people, there's just that one person you might be standing next to and they want to interact, and it's a very crucial time for you guys, but I know you got this. Just hold on, you will get there soon and you will get out of that place and go back in your show. And also it's sad that this is the first time Zambia is voting amid a pandemic, which is the COVID-19. Just make sure that you unfortunately I can't say avoid crowded places because the polling stations are crowded. I can't tell you to keep a 1 meter distance. I know you would try, but it's about the other individual as well. As we saw while our reporters were giving us the updates, people are just there standing bumper to bumper, I would say. Yeah, we can't keep the 1 meter. We can't run away from the fact that it's amid COVID-19 and we're voting, and it's the first time that we're voting under this atmosphere, to be specific. But carry your mask, carry your hand sanitizer. Like I was mentioning, if you don't have hand sanitizer, there are those small bath soaps. You can just carry it in your pocket or in your handbag. When you get an opportunity to wash your hands, do so.
Yes.
Please.
It's very important to mask up. Please mask up. please mask up. It cannot be emphasized enough. It's very crucial on a day like this. Even though your vote is important, your health and safety is also just as important. So for the viewers out there and for those voting, please make sure you do mask up.
Yes, of course. Now, before we get to our next reporter, just to find out how the atmosphere is at a certain political station, polling station, let's just quickly take a short break. As we take a breather, we'll be back just after this.
For individual financial emancipation, empowering its citizens through land acquisition and developing the nation through agriculture. This time, Zambians are coming together, taking it upon themselves with the help of government to develop this great nation by taking individual responsibility and ownership of this great nation. The economic revolution has started. There are thousands of Zambians with a can-do mindset who are resolute, unstoppable, full of confidence and conviction that Zambia's set time of favor for development is now. Don't be left out. This could be the time you have been waiting for. Camnet Television, in conjunction with the United Agrivision Consultancy Limited, will be hosting a national conference on becoming a millionaire through agriculture. Date 1st October and 2nd October 2021. Charges 750 kwacha per person per day, that includes lunch. A limited number of participants through Zoom have also been reserved. You can also be part of the conference from the comfort of your home by registering online via Zoom, joining the people who were born for greatness. Charges for participation via Zoom are only 300 kwacha per person. Time 0730 hours to 17 hours. Registration and confirmation of attendance will take place on the 29th of September 2021. Time 14 hours to 17 hours. Venue the Healing Word Ministries International, the home of Camnet Television in Apex Hill, Kabulonga Road, Lusaka. Welcome back. This is the Camnet TV election update on Not Just Another Channel, and we have our reporters on the ground just giving us updates from different polling stations. My name is Precious Mzea Sakaleji, and I have Michael Chota on the other side. Now, quickly getting into how many polling stations, how many districts, and how many registered voters that we currently have as of 9th May 2021, announced by the election body, which is the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
Yes, and welcome viewers. For those who have just joined us now, we have 12,152 polling stations across the country, and that's 1,858 wards, and that includes 156 constituencies with 116 districts, and that's in 10 provinces across the country. And we have 7,023,499 registered voters. It's a huge turnout today, and on the ground it looks like it's very impressive.
Yes, of course. Now getting on to our 16 presidential candidates, their party initials and also their symbols on the ballot that you should look out for. We have the Mr. Banda Anford M from the PSC. The symbol is a flag. And getting to Mr. Chanda Charles, the UPPZ, that's a graduation cap, cabbage and 2 cattle heads. Mr. Chisela Lazarus, that's the ZUSD. A phone is a symbol. And also getting to Mr. Hamudu Duhaivi, which is the PNUP. The symbol that you should look out for is a wheel. Getting on to Mr. Haka and Hijlema S from the United Party from National Development, UPND, which is a palm with a raised thumb. And also getting on to Mr. Mr. Kalabahari, which is the DP. The symbol that you're looking out for is a key. Mr. Kateka Chishala B, which is the NHP. The symbol is a maize crop with a cob. And also Mr. Edgar Chagwalungu, which is the PF. The symbol is a boat. Mr. Fred Membe on the other side from the SP, axe and shovel crossed. Mr. Neves Mumba S from the MMD, which is a table clock. Mr. Mwambamsonda TS from the UNIP. The symbol is a home. Mwenda Kasonda C from the EFF. The symbol is a footprint. Mr. Stephen Nyirenda C from Mr. Stephen Nyirenda from the NAREP, a heart for the people. Mr. Silumbe Richard, that's LM, is the political party. The WEVs, and also Mr. Sean Tembo E from the PEP, a united family standing on the globe. And not forgetting Mr. Tonga Enoch Ara, which is the 3rd LM, the 3 flags crossed. Yeah. So those are your presidential candidates, their party initials, and also the symbols that you're looking out for on the ballot paper.
Definitely, and just as you had mentioned earlier, Precious, know your candidates. It's very important that you go out and vote correctly. You don't go vote blindly. You don't know who you're voting for, whether it be at presidential level or at mayoral level. Make sure that you do know your candidate. That's why we're giving you these updates. They're very important for you to know.
Yes, of course. And for those that are just joining us that don't know what's going on, well, today is the day that Zambians decide. Today is Poll Day, which is the 12th of August 2021, the general election where you get to vote for different offices. Just to mention a few, the presidential office, parliamentary level, mayoral, and also council on the other side. So you need to know where you're voting from, what constituency it is, and also, like Michael mentioned, you need to know your candidate. Away from you being excited about casting that vote, if you're a first-time voter, and being excited to actually make use of your voter's card, you need to know who you're voting for, why you're voting for them, and if they have actually enticed you into voting for them for the right reasons, well, you have no doubt that you know what you're doing. And also just make sure as you're going to the polls today, eat something.
It's very important to have breakfast. Make sure you get your energy. There's an interesting thing I saw on social media as well. People were saying, I'm not going to bath today. I'm just going to go direct to the polling station and make my vote.
I think that's a bad idea because
that shows
you're going to be standing there for a very long time.
That shows the passion which they have.
Still, guys.
Make sure you bath as well, and make sure you do have breakfast.
I don't know. Make sure you just bath because you'll be standing in the queue for a very long time. And as you can see, the weather is rise and shine.
Yes.
The sun is out there to shine on you, so just take that quick bath. Even 5 minutes is enough to just actually wash away the sweat that happened overnight. But anyways, breakfast is very important. Just to get on the serious note of that, we don't want you to be passing out because we've had incidences where people actually pass out while they are on the queue waiting to vote or in line waiting to vote because they don't have energy and they are tired. So just make sure you have something. If you're able to pack something, if you're home and getting ready to go and vote, for those of you that are not early birds, you can just pack something for to eat later.
It's very important to carry something. And for those who be voting after lunch as well, make sure you do have your lunch. Just make sure that you're hydrated as well. Drink lots of water. For those who be standing up for long periods of time, it's very important that you remain hydrated and that you're well fed. So you're strong for the day. Yeah.
It's going to be a long day.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
And it's about to get busy and crazy in the evenings because some polling stations that have got actually few people, just to be, few people, lack of better terms, the results will start being announced at least by 19, 20, 21 hours on the other side. So polling stations, by law, are open at 6 and close at 18
hours, yes.
But we have had incidences where the Electoral Commission of Zambia just compromises looking at the turnout because you have a whole lot of people outside and then you don't have enough time to vote. So
it's a very important point.
That one is very crucial.
Because it is your democratic right to vote, so you cannot be prohibited from exercising your right to vote. So
but when time has gone.
When time has gone, but... Yeah.
I like how they handle such situations because you know how Zambians are.
In Zambia,
when you've been there. For example, for those that are voting from places where there's a huge turnout, you get to have incidences where they've closed, and you're supposed to be the next person.
I was next.
I was next
in line.
I know that feeling.
Just
Not
maintain.
that I can relate. I've had people that were, but you know, there's gonna be that.
There's gonna be that tension, but please remain peaceful and calm. Yes, it's very important.
I think peace is the word. At this point, peace is the main word. Like you don't have, we can't come. They can't campaign. I'm saying we because I'm part of this. The people, they can't campaign because. It's done. The last day was yesterday.
18 hours, yes.
18 hours was the last day for campaigns. So if you are, I know we've got also new presidential candidates and also new candidates from different offices that have decided to venture into the political fraternity.
Yes.
Just a heads up, in case you're just watching this and in case it reaches you wherever you're from, you're not supposed to campaign. That might actually, that's you breaching ECZ's code of conduct.
Yes.
So don't do that.
You're specifically prohibited. So as a political party, your time ended yesterday at 18 hours. Even people on the ground, make sure that they're also not campaigning because you also see that it's very common. Especially in the cars, they're driving around, and political time is over. It's time to cast your vote now as the nation.
I don't know why. That's why I'm saying it's mixed feelings. Excited and scared, anxious, curious.
It's a mix.
It's a mixture of emotions, and I know you can relate.
Yes.
I just wish I could just go around the streets and just see the situation. So now, like we mentioned earlier, we'll be having different reporters on the ground. We have different reporters on the ground, and we'll be having them live on this show just to give you an update on what's going on. So we get on to our next reporter just to hear the update and where they are at and giving us the update from.
Okay, live. My name is Edon Zulu. I'm standing here at Kansai from our tour. So far, the turnout has been great. It's been wonderful. A lot of people came as early as 2. Some come here, they slept here. The turnout has been quite good. The only issue that we're having at the moment is that of order. I think in accordance with ECZ, they're not really doing their jobs in terms of controlling lines and directing people where they're supposed to go and where they're not supposed to go. Another thing there is I haven't seen a space where they can capture the elderly and the disabled. I haven't seen that. I'm seeing some older people and older people queuing as well as the young people. I think they should also have a space where they can allow some older people to participate in, the disabled as well, the sick. Yeah, but otherwise the turnout has been good. Quite excited, people are eager to watch. Another thing is the people are quite slow. I don't think that are working here are quite trained to deal with people and to have that rapport and the connection where they can. Because this is a community, but at the end of the day, people want to feel that some sort of home feel where they are directed, they are attended to, and they are ushered properly. Yeah, but otherwise, the turnout has been quite good. People are excited for these elections.
Thank you.
The councillor for we should do another take.
Fine.
Wow. And there we saw an aspiring councillor on the ground just airing his views that for some people they need provisions to sit down because the lines are long. So it's also important that people have that access to be able to be comfortable as well as they vote. It's very interesting what's happening on the ground there.
Yes, of course. And I remember there was a concern from the Disability Rights Watch. I stand to be corrected on the organization that look out for certain things for disabled people, and they mentioned quite a number of things that were supposed to be put in place before the elections. We saw the what do you call it, election information or education materials coming out just a few days before the election day. We saw some sign language on the post, which was very impressive, I would say. I know there will be people that would need help. In the past, I remember where I was at the polling station, the time I was voting in 2016, there was actually a lady that couldn't get to where the ballot paper was, so she needed help from, they actually had to bring down the papers to her and stuff like that. So there's so many things that did get to happen during this period, and we can't actually pin everything on the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Even though we know that's the election body, they get to be overwhelmed sometimes. And yes, we know that certain mistakes are not supposed to be made during this moment. But what we need to understand as well, that these are human beings that we're dealing with as well, that there's just certain things that they might unforeseen circumstances, I would say. So we are learning. It's a learning process. In as much as we would say this is the fourth general election that we're having, is it?
Fourth, yeah? Could be.
Yes, stand to be corrected. So we are learning. We are trying to understand how things go about, what we need to do, what we don't need to do, and stuff like that. So we are hoping that the people that need help will be actually given the help that will be needed, and no one will be frustrated during this period, and we pray that the calm atmosphere will be maintained during and after the elections.
Very important, Precious, very important. It's to look after your neighbor. As citizens of the country, be patriotic. If you see someone in need of help during the voting procedure, please help them out as well, because as you said, these are COVID times, so anyone could have any condition, disabled. We are all equal under the law, so it's important to help out your neighbor in this voting procedure as well.
Yes, of course. So now remember that you can also come through as a viewer. I would love to say for those that are not voting, but I will not be segregative. If you're not voting yet, you can just call us and tell us why you're not doing so. If you are, you can also call us and tell us where you're doing that from and how the atmosphere is. And also, if you just have any views and opinion that you would love to air out, you can call us on the number 0968675273. While you're calling, please note that you are not supposed to campaign at any point. You're not supposed to talk on behalf of any political party, because we're just trying not to do the wrong things. And also remember that as you are calling, your view and your opinion is very important, and it will be respected. But as every institution, we've got rules and regulations that we have just to make sure that you and me are safe. And also remember, for those of you that are social media influencers and you are a vlogger or a blogger, or you own a website and you have to update the people, just know that if you're going to update the nation on the results that will be announced by one specific institution, which is the Electoral Commission of Zambia, make sure you do it after they do it, because if you're going to announce results before the final results from the Electoral Commission of Zambia, unfortunately you will land yourself into trouble. Let's not forget that we have the cyber security and cyber crime bill in progress. No, not in progress. It's actually working.
Been elected, yes.
It's been enlightened and implemented. So there are certain things that are not supposed to be done on social media, and the law will not hesitate to knock on your door if you break any of those.
Very important point, especially in the social media area where people want to just air out their opinions. Anyhow, do not be careless with your opinions, especially during this election time. It's a very sensitive period. The tensions are high, as you said. Political parties are tooth and nail. So please be very sensitive with the views which you do air on social media, as there is a cyber law in place, and be very cautious of that as well as you air out your opinions.
Yes, of course. Now, before we get into our next reporter, or we just had an that's aspiring candidate what candidate? What in it's
before Thomas Bar?
Before Thomas Bar, after
Thomas Bar.
I'm trying to see what word that was. They're just trying to encourage everybody, and also he has his complaints as he was voting on the other side. But also, we would love to hear from you if you have a different opinion, or the same opinion. All we want to know is get an update from you and what you think. I'm not going to ask you who you're voting for, because your vote is a secret, and also we're not here to campaign. No one should actually come through. If in case you decide to call us, just make sure that you're not campaigning for any candidate. I know Muliokela is not on the ballot, babe.
He's not on the ballot?
He's not.
Oh, okay.
On a lighter note.
That's quite disappointing.
No, on a lighter note, I feel Mr. Alex Muliokela is actually a very smart man. I don't know what will...
He is.
I don't know what can be done. I would love to see him on the ballot. It's his courage for me.
Is his courage?
Yeah.
He's a very courageous man, yes.
He's just...
He's a very prominent figure as well in the political climate. A lot of people have seen him, made mention of him. Yeah, he's
Alex Muliokela for president, Poor People's Party. That's the party, PPP, yeah? The Poor People's Party. Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing such faces. I think the only thing that the only reason Mr. Muliokela is not on the ballot paper, I think because he couldn't manage to pay the presidential fee.
Oh, the 95,000?
95,000 kwacha. But if he did, trust me, that man would have been on the ballot.
Yeah, he would have been there?
Been on the ballot.
But he was there when you voted in 2016, right? Was he there?
On the ballot?
Was he on the ballot?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. No, he wasn't.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't on the ballot. He got an opportunity to be on one of the media houses, and he says quite a number of things.
He does.
I heard his manifesto, and it was quite interesting. And I'm like, I feel like
you would have given him a chance.
Well,
he could have. He looks like he could have your vote.
He could, because the main reason, if he was on the ballot, the main reason I would give him a vote is to encourage him.
To encourage others, okay.
Yeah.
Not that we're propagating voting.
No. We're not. We just said on a lighter note, Mr. Alex Muliokela is not on the
ballot paper.
On the ballot paper for the presidential candidate, the Poor People's Party. But I would have given him a vote just to encourage him to keep going.
Yes.
I know I would. I don't think I would be the only one who would have given him a vote if he was on the ballot, because others would do it for fun. Others would do it because they want to encourage him and see him stand in the 2026 general election.
Yeah.
But just on the lighter note, he's not on the ballot. But anyways, getting back to what we're talking about today, this is the Kamni TV election updates, and we're just giving you updates on what's happening from different polling stations. And if you feel that you are at a certain polling station and you'd love to give us an update on what's happening on the other side of where you are, well, you can come through on the number 0968675273, or get to our Facebook platform, or call us, okay? And we would love to hear from you. The other number that you can call us on
it's 0973-167-840. You can reach us on that other line as well.
Yeah.
And true, just as you've mentioned, Precious, as well, this time it's a lot is going on. A lot is going on.
First of all, let's talk about 16 presidential candidates.
That's another debate. People are like, why so many presidential candidates?
It's a multi-party democracy.
You know, it's a good sign for democracy. It shows that we have a lot of choices to make, but as well, it also dilutes the process. Some would feel, why am I voting for so many?
You know,
many people.
in the future, or in another life, when in another life, somehow, in as much as we are trying to encourage multi-party democracy, and we're a multi-party democracy, so it's a democratic space. I feel having too many political parties is splitting the votes.
Splitting the votes, it's true.
Okay, so we have a caller on the other side. Hello? Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
You sound as excited as I sound. Who are we talking to and where are you calling us from?
I'm Kembela and Sahan from 15 miles, Katoa constituency.
Okay, please give us an update. What is the situation where you are?
I woke up at 4:30. Hoping to be the first one.
Wow.
Oh my God, I was shocked. A lot of people.
Oh yeah?
At least I was helped since I'm going for work. I was given an opportunity to vote, and I'm done.
How do you feel? How do you feel after casting that vote?
I feel very excited.
Congratulations.
And I pray that my vote will count. Especially that I left my blanket early to back vote.
It was worth it.
Come again?
It was worth it.
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Okay, congratulations. What is your word of advice to someone out there who has a voter's card but has just decided to stay indoors?
Well, that person should go and vote. The environment is very peaceful. The officers are doing their job. You won't even take long. Just go and vote.
All right, thank you so much. You said 10 miles Katua constituency, is it?
Yes, 15 miles.
15 miles. Okay, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's the vibe for me. It's the vibe. It's the positive energy.
It's
you
the
see?
passion. She left her blankets to go out and vote.
And she has work later. For those of us, I know I can relate to her. I know it was announced that today and tomorrow is a holiday, but we need to be here to give you this service.
Yes.
So 15 miles Katua constituency. She went as early as 4. And fortunate enough, she was given an opportunity to actually vote and leave, and she's excited. And she said,
go out.
This is message from her to you through me to say, if you have a voter's card, go out
and vote.
And vote.
Your vote counts. Congratulations to her. Congratulations to her. Very, very
Would love to hear more of those. So if you are at a certain polling station and you have already voted or you're waiting to vote, I know some of you are watching this from Facebook Live. Kudos to you. So if you are at a certain polling station, you have already voted or you're waiting to vote, just tell us how the turnout is, how the atmosphere is, how you're feeling. Don't tell us who you're voting for.
Don't tell us.
We don't want to know. It's your secret, so keep it to yourself.
Yes.
Or you can come through to Facebook and give us your just type how the atmosphere is, where you're voting from, and remember that we have our reporters on the ground from different polling stations, just giving us updates on what's happening around the country. We are praying that we'll by 18 hours, by law, polling stations are supposed to close. We don't know how that's going to be, so we wait. We'll cross the bridge when we get there. So we are expected to see results or hear results from around 21 hours, midnight to go on up until, because the Electoral Commission of Zambia, which is Zambia's election body, mentioned and announced that they want to get it done and dusted with in 72 hours. So 72 that's
hours,
3
3
that's
days.
3 days.
Yes, 3 days.
Yeah, 24 by 3.
3 days.
Maths, Tesana, but that's 3 days.
No
so we wait. We wait to hear who has made it and who is getting what office, constituency, and stuff like that. Parliamentary level, mayoral, councillor, and presidential. We wait.
Definitely. And just a friendly reminder to the viewers out there, do not forget the colors for the ballot boxes. Orange is for presidential, red is for National Assembly, black is for the local government, and the purple is for the mayoral candidate.
I'm hungry.
I'm also hungry as well.
but I'm here because
Definitely.
we got you. When it comes, Camnet TV has got you when it comes to election updates. We're trying to be not just any other channel like we have always been. We are and will continue to be not just another channel. That's the reason why we're here giving you the live updates from different polling stations. So we have slots. We will be coming in. We will break. Me and Michael needs to vote as well. So at some point we will be off your screens. Just know that we have gone to cast our vote. If it's time for me to come back and I haven't casted my vote, but being in media, we are given an opportunity to actually vote and come back and do our duties. But just in case you think we will compromise giving you updates on what's happening from different polling stations, we're not compromising on that. There are no two ways about it. If it means us leaving this place at 2 so that you get the information that you need, we're going to do that. Just so we let you know that we're not just another channel. Camnet TV. Yes. So call us 0968-675273 if you're at a certain polling station and you'd love to give us an update, or just text us on Facebook. Comment on Facebook, on our Facebook platform. It's running live, streaming live from Facebook, and we would love to hear from you. We respect your opinion and we would love to hear it.
Definitely. Please let us know. Call us in, text in on Facebook or on phone numbers 0973-167-840. You can call us there. On social media, reach out. We would love to hear from you and your views on this very historic day as Zambia goes to the polls.
We'll take another break. We'll be back on the other side as we wait for our next reporter to give us an update from a certain polling station. Welcome back. This is Camnet TV Election Update with me, Precious Mzea Sakaleji, and Michael Chota on the other side. And we're just giving you live visuals from different polling stations with our reporters on the ground. And remember that if you are actually one of the voters that's waiting in line to cast your vote, remember that you can actually come through live in the studio and just tell us how the situation is. And also for those that are coming to vote from that, it might be that someone is actually watching and they're getting ready to vote from the polling station that you're voting from. You can call us on this number 0968-675273, and also you can come through to our Facebook platform and just tell us how it is going on the other side. Now, just quickly getting into the statistics as of 9th May 2021, registered voters, we have 7,023,499. 10 provinces, 116 districts, 156 constituencies, 1,858 wards, 12,152 polling stations. Now, by law, polling stations are supposed to be open at 06 hours and close at exactly 18 hours the same day. Now, ECZ, that is the Electoral Commission of Zambia, election body in Zambia, announced at one of their press briefings that they're hoping to get done with the election counting and also the results in 72 hours, which is 3 days. So if you have your voter's card ready, well, this is the time to head to your polling station.